All right, hello and welcome to Succah, Daf Yomi. I have Shmuel back today. Took a little hiatus.
Why do you call me a hyena?
Hiatus.
Oh, hiatus.
You know what hiatus means?
No, I think it's a type of cicada. It like makes noises, right?
No, it's a break. A break when you take a break. Where did you go yesterday?
I went to
the ocean, right?
That's right.
What did you do with the ocean? What did you do there?
I stayed there. What do you mean?
You went in the water a little bit?
There was water. There was a lot of people also.
You know how to surf? Did you do some surfing?
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure. I'm like that Hasidic rabbi that surfs. The surfing rabbi.
Surfing rabbi? You
There's
surf
a guy. What's his name? You know what I'm thinking about? Glazer. You know the guy, young Glazer? You know what I'm thinking about?
I've heard that guy, yeah.
He surfs.
He's supposed to be
He's from California.
possible you, right? The you?
Yeah.
He doesn't call it the possible I, the possible you. Right? Why is it called the possible you? You know the difference in you and I?
No, what?
You is how you're perceived by other people. I is what I believe about myself.
Uh-huh.
That's the difference in you and I. You
Interesting.
relies on other people's assessment of you, and I
That's interesting.
is your personal assessment of yourself. It's a huge difference, right?
That's right. You know what they say, Rabbi Pesach Cohen? What's the difference between unite and untie? It's just you and the I. You know what I'm saying? If you move around the I and the you.
So what's he trying to say?
I don't know exactly.
That unite sounds like the better one. Untie sounds like...
Right. Unite is not.
So you're saying the you is better than the I, no?
No, they both just start with you, but they don't. I don't know. Okay, let's learn.
All right. We're going to start from the Mishnah on Chavzayim and Aleph. V'lezer omer arba asreis tu'udos chayiv adam lechol v'sukkah. A person has to eat 14 meals on a sukkah. Achas b'yom achas b'layla. We're going to explain in the Gemara what he means. One at night and one during the day. The Chachamim ein l'davar kitzah. They say you don't have to eat 14 meals. Chutz min Yom Tov Rishon shel Chag b'lvad. On the first night of Yom Tov, you have to eat a meal in the sukkah. If you forgot to eat the first night, you can have tashlumin. You didn't have tashlumin when the night of Simchas Torah, the night of Shmini Atzeres. Here in Israel, Shmini Atzeres is Simchas Torah. In America, we're talking about Shmini Atzeres. You can make it up by having a meal that night in the sukkah. Now, obviously, you can't have kavanah that you're eating this meal in the sukkah because it would be bal tosif, but technically, just eating the meal would be yotzei. Tashlumin. They say there's no tashlumin. When you have something crooked, you can't fix it up. And you lack something, you can't count it. Right? You ever have 10 things in life where you missed out an opportunity, Shmuel?
Yeah.
What was a good example in your life?
I missed the opportunity.
A missed opportunity, you couldn't fix it. Or a shir who
Last night there was
pursued.
a shir here. I didn't know about it. You know?
Oh yeah? Who gave a shir?
It's Meir Grindman. It was like a Musser shir, Musser shmooze.
You missed it.
I forgot about it, and then I realized this morning I just saw the sign.
So there's nothing you can do about it, right? Muaves lo yichol itkan, v'kisran lo yichol imanos, right?
Yeah.
Not much you can do about it.
Not much you can do about it. But that's you know, just have to move on.
Just drink a beer, right? All right.
Drink a beer.
You have to get over. You have to make yourself. You have to get the pain reduced, mitigate the pain. All right. The Gemara says, "My time with Rabbi Lezer." What's the reason Lezer? He says 14 meals. Teishu kein tadur. Madira achas b'yom achas b'layla. Just like when you live in your house, you eat one meal during the day, one meal during the night. You eat one meal during the day, one meal at night.
Well,
How many meals a day do you eat,
I'm a
Shmuel?
bit lax in that.
Lax in that? You don't eat meals?
My wife says I don't eat breakfast a lot. He's right. And
Why don't you eat breakfast?
Why?
You just skip breakfast?
So, yeah, or late breakfast. You know what I mean?
I have Oreos for breakfast. You like Oreos?
Oreos, that's not a breakfast. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's better than nothing. What is Oreos? Cookies?
You never know what an Oreos cookie is? Like the chocolate,
In
the cookies
America,
with the
we
cream
didn't eat
and
Oreos. America, Oreos was never kosher.
And now it's for
Nabisco,
sure.
Nabisco.
It's actually Mondelez now. Maybe in America it's.
Nabisco. They're the Oreo guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's the parent company is called Mondelez.
Mondelez.
Yeah, it's Mexican, I think. They own it.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the packages here in Israel. Oreos. They sell it in the makolet. It's actually chalav. It's parov. It's not chalav. It's not with milk. You're supposed to drink. You're supposed to dip it in milk.
Yeah.
You dip it in milk. Yeah. I have a video about that. You have to check out my video.
Oh.
How long do you dunk an Oreo in milk? How long do you keep it in the milk when you dunk it? Is it 5 seconds? 10 seconds? 7.5 seconds? Spoiler alert.
I think there's about that. I think it's a machlekes. I don't know how we pass it at the end. Okay, let's go.
Okay, anyway, he's supposed to eat 14 meals a day in the Sukkah. Shmuel follows this. He only eats 2 meals a day. He doesn't eat breakfast. He eats lunch and he eats dinner, right? So you're following, right?
I don't know. Well, what is it?
Rabbanan kedira, ma dira yibayach yibayloach. Just like in your house, if you want to eat, you could eat. If you don't want to eat, you don't have to eat. Sukkah nami yibayach yibayloach. You don't have to eat a meal in the Sukkah. Yihaki afilu leili yom tov rishon nami. Also, the first night of Sukkah, so also you shouldn't have to eat. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. We lost the lighting over here.
Now you have better lighting.
Yeah, this is better for my video. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Mishum min Tzadok, Nemar kan chamisha sar v'nemar chamisha sar b'chag hamatzos. It says Ted Vav by Sukkah, it says Ted Vav by Pesach. Just like over there, the first night is an obligation. Afterwards, you don't have to eat matzah. So to Sukkah, also we learn out Ted Vav, you have to eat the first night. Where we know on Pesach you have to eat the first night. Amakrab erev tochel matzos. Akasav kavo chova. It says you should eat matzah at night. Talking about the first night of Pesach. Torah made it a chiyuv to eat it that night.
Of course we know one makro. I mean, it's funny that what we know, you don't know when you ask every kid when he eats matzah at night. Of course he eats matzah at night.
This is from the pasuk. This is how we know it. Where there's no makor for this. This is a Gemara. The Gemara is the source of everything. Okay, you eat matzah the first night?
I eat matzah.
What matzah brand do you prefer?
What matzah brand?
When you're in America, they have different brands in my here. Most people do the chabura matzahs.
Oh yeah, right.
Which ones did you like in America?
In America,
you like the Carister, Papa?
I think we used to growing up. I had
Schatzer?
Satmer. I get Satmer matzahs.
Satmer matzah. What is that? I never heard about that one.
Satmer? That's the big matzah bakery in Williamsburg.
Yeah, they sell it in Gourmet Glatt there?
Williamsburg. We used to go to Williamsburg, I think. I don't remember. We lived in Queens. I don't know what they did. I don't know what the deal was. But
were you makbid to eat matzah more than just the first night, or you eat only the first night? Because it says you only have to eat matzah the first night. Did you try to add to the mitzvah? The Gemara says that it's still a mitzvah to eat the rest of 7 days. To eat matzah. Did you remekayim that?
Yeah, we used to eat matzah. Everybody eats matzah. Like matzah.
Well, your olam haba is going down the drain. You're losing your olam haba. You could have been mekayim the gra. Right. Okay.
Did you eat matzah?
Yeah, I used to try to eat as much matzah as I can because I figure I eat the shmura matzah, the round ones. Because I want to make the gra as many mitzvahs as you can. Every mitzvah is a kiyum mitzvah kiyumis, whatever that means. Meaning you're not mechuyev, but you're mekayim a mitzvah anyway. So I try to do that.
That's the only mitzvah to eat. Really, to eat. Mitzvah to eat bread, or to eat. Not bread. To eat something, right? Is that true? The only mitzvah in
the only mitzvah to eat something?
The only mitzvah in our Torah.
There's a mitzvah eat on Erev Yom Kippur.
Oh, that's true also. That's true.
There's a mitzvah to eat kudshim.
That's true.
I can't think of any others off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's other things out there. It's a mitzvah to eat pork, no?
This is a Jewish neighborhood here.
Yeah, I'm joking.
You didn't mean it. You didn't mean it.
You heard? Someone heard?
We're talking about it over here.
Really?
Okay, let's
joke around. All right. You have to eat 14 meals in a sukkah. So how could the Gemara's question is? Relezer said there's tashlumin. When is tashlumin? If you missed out on one of the 14 sudos, you can be mashlim on Shmini Atzeres at night, right? So how can you mashlim on Shmini Atzeres at night? It's not sukkahs anymore, right? If you're mechaving, you're eating in the sukkah, you're mechaving the kind of mitzvah, you're over Baal Tosef. So how can you make it up? Amar Bira, Amar Ami Chazbar Relezer. Relezer was chozer, but we hold it really like the Rabbana. You don't have to eat 14 meals, only one meal. And that meal is not a din necessarily. You see from here, it's not a din in the sukkah because you can make it up on Simchas Torah. So it's a din in Yontiv, not a din in the sukkah. Everyone learns that if it's raining, right, you have to still eat that kazayas of matzah of bread in the sukkah, right? So you see, it's not true. There's a light back. You see, it's not true. It's a big yesod over here. That it's a big machlokes. If it's raining the first night, you have to make sure to eat it in the sukkah. And could you eat it while it's raining? Because you have to eat that first tedvav. We see over here that it's at least according to Rebbe Lezer, maybe according to Rabbanan, it's not that way. But the mitzvah is not to eat in the sukkah. The mitzvah is to eat on Yontif. That's why you can make it up. Mashmei Atzeres.
Really? Is that what you think?
I think that's shapash pshat in this Gemara.
Wow.
It's a big kiddush, but the Rabbanan argue on it. The Rabbanan say there's no tashlum, and so according to them, they can learn it's actually in the sukkah.
So let's say you don't have a sukkah. According to Rebbe Eliezer, you should still eat. You want to say there's a chiyuv to eat? Is that true?
The chiyuv to eat on Yom Tov. What's the din? The din is eating a meal on
So
sukkah.
let's say you don't have a sukkah. Person's in jail and
Tedvav. We learn from
in foreign countries.
on
in jail.
Pesach. There's a mitzvah to eat a meal. So on Pesach, so you have to eat a meal on sukkahs also.
Okay, very interesting.
Interesting, right?
Very interesting, Ben Zion. Thank you for that important.
That's Ian with Ben Zion for you coming back a little
Zion is a great,
retro.
great Talmudist.
All right, so the Gemara says he's chozer. Amar Bira, Amar Rabami, Chazbar Lezer Mashtim B'Mai. So the Gemara says if he wants to make it up, what does he have to eat? He has to eat a whole meal. Ilim of Barifta, if he has to make it up by eating bread, Suda Diomekach. It's not nikra that he's making it up because that's what you would normally eat a regular meal. Elamai Yashlim Yashlim Targima. You eat with delicacies. You have some fruits, you have some cashews, some nuts.
Some nuts.
Yeah, you like nuts?
Nuts, yeah, nuts are nice.
What's your favorite nut? You a nut? No, I'm joking. I'm a nut for sure. I'm a nut.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, you know what I'm saying?
I'm a nut.
Okay.
I'm a pecan. All right.
Tanya Nami Hochi.
The Gemara says, Tanya Nami Hakim. Brisa says if you actually made up that meal by having delicacies or yotze. The person who was in charge, the personal secretary, the personal security guard of Agrippas HaMelech, asked Rebbe Lezer, I only eat one meal a day. What's the din if can I eat one meal and I'll pater myself? Right, one meal on Sukkot. That's all I eat normally. Normally people eat 2 meals. I only eat one meal. Every day you're eating chocolates, you're eating nuts, you're eating candies, you're eating potato chips. Actually, you can't make up that second meal by eating some delicacies for your second meal for Hashem. You asked him a second question. I have 2 wives. One who lives in Tveria, one who lives in Sipori. I have 2 sukkahs. Can I leave in the middle of sukkahs from one sukkah, go to the other sukkah and be yotzim mitzvah sukkahs? I'm a low. You can't do that. Shani Omer call yotzim sukkah sukkah batel mitzvah rishona.
Wow.
If you go from one sukkah to another sukkah, you lose the whole mitzvah of sukkah. We'll see it on B's explanation. As Tanya Lezer Omer, ain't adam yotzim sukkah sukkah. You can't go on sukkahs from one sukkah to another sukkah. You know, when we were kids, we had this like sukkah hopping. You ever do sukkah hopping?
Is that like stiebel hopping?
Maybe in Kew Garden Hills it was stiebel hopping. In sukkah hopping, when we grew up in Hillcrest, they had you go to different sukkahs and you get snacks at different sukkahs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, according to their religion, you're not supposed to do that. In fact, I remember there was a guy there. There was one of the kids. He was like an 8-year-old kid. And we kept on going to sukkah hopping. And by every sukkah we went to, the kid gets up and he says, no, he protests. He said, Rebbe Lezer says you can't do this. Rebbe Lezer says you can't do this. And we're like, shut up. And be quiet.
That was you.
Wasn't me.
You are
No,
a
there was a guy. He was Tzaddik.
It's true?
Tzaddik Yisrael. It's true. Of course it's not true. What are you talking about? We're minor Orthodox kids. We didn't even know what Gemara Sukkah was. Well, alone Rebbe Lezer and Daf Yomi. Ain't no in Sukkah b'chol shamoed. You can't make a Sukkah moed because you have to have a Sukkah for all 7 days. We're going to see. So if you just make your Sukkah in the middle of Sukkah, it's only 5 days. Disagree with this. They say you can have a Sukkah for part of Yom Tov. The Shavin, they both agree. If it fell down in the middle of Sukkot, you can rebuild it for the rest of the Sukkot. My time with the Lezer, what's the reason of Lezer? They say you can't go from Sukkah to Sukkah. It says your Sukkah should be free for 7 days. I say Sukkah, real Shiva. Your Sukkah has to be lasting for 7 days. You have to live in your Sukkah, the same Sukkah, for 7 days. This is what the Matar meant to say. I say Sukkah b'chag. They say make your Sukkah on during one of the 7 days. Of course, it's Pashut. Even according to Lezer, it's the same Sukkah. You might think when you rebuild it, it's a new Sukkah. It's not a Sukkah that's for 7 days. Kamashman, it's still considered 7 days. Tanya, just like you can't on the first day of Sukkot, you can't be Yotzei with your friend's lulav. They'll still has to belong to you. B'yom Rishon priyetzader kabos tamarim shalachem has to come from your own money. Kach ein adam Yotzei yidei b'sukkos shel chaveiro. You can't be Yotzei your mitzvah of Sukkot with your friend's Sukkah. Dechsiv chag and Sukkos tasel lach shivas yamim mishalcha has to belong to you. The Chachamim say Al pi shamro ein adam Yotzei yidei yom Rishon shebulav shel chaveiro. They agree that you can't use your friend's lulav. You could use your friend's sukkah. In fact, it says b'sukkos. It says in the pasuk without the vav. So it's one sukkah. All of Yisrael could be yoshev in one sukkah. Obviously, they don't all own it, right? So therefore, you could be yoshev with the sukkah she'ula. Rabbanan hayal lecha my darshu. What are they darshan with the word lecha? It seems to say it has to belong to you. It comes to exclude that if you steal material and you build a sukkah, that you're not going to be yotzei with. That's called a sukkah gzula. A borrowed sukkah, when you're borrowing it, you have permission to use it. So then, kol ezrach b'Yisrael, you're allowed to sukkah. You're allowed to shuluk ksiv kol ezrach. Lezer high kol ezrach ma'avid. What does he do with kol ezrach? Sounds like it could be used. You could use a sukkah that wasn't yours. The gershon is guy in time. Because it's gadol in time. To tell you a chiddush, according to Lezer says you normally need a sukkah that has to be used for 7 days. What about if you're a katan that becomes bar mitzvah in the middle of sukkahs, or you're megayer in the middle of sukkahs? So now your sukkah, let's say, is only going to be valid for 4 or 3 days. Let's say 5 days, whatever. So he learned kol ezrach b'Yisrael as a reboy to tell me that also you could be yotzei mitzvah sukkah. It doesn't have to be shivas yom. Rabbanan came and sukkah b'chol shemot. Once they hold that you can make a sukkah on chol shemot, you don't need it for 7 days. Well, it's the crow. You don't need a pasuk to tell me about gershon is gayer and a katan shenis gadol. Rabbanan ma'aseh b'rilai shahalach lahakol pnei Rebbe Rabba Bulud. I went
what
to.
Would happen if a person is megayer or has a bar mitzvah on the yontif? Then he can't build the sukkah on the yontif. He's in trouble.
You can go into someone else's sukkah.
No, but he can't go into the Eliezer.
Because it has to be the first day of Yom Tov. You're saying it has to belong to you.
Yeah, and he can't build the sukkah on the first day of Yom Tov.
You know what? For you, most of Mashiach, you're asking a good question. Because Eliezer shmoozy, we're going to pass in like Eliezer, but nowadays we don't pass in like Eliezer. We're passing like Rabbanan, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
But come back to me, most of Mashiach, and maybe Mashiach will have an answer for that.
Someone told me that Rebbe Chaim Kanievsky said you could. It's Moishe Mashiach now.
What's the hafkamina?
You could talk all about
talk during
Mashiach.
davening?
No, you could talk about Mashiach and everything. I don't know exactly what.
We can talk about Mashiach. You're not allowed to talk about Mashiach.
No, you're not allowed. You're not supposed to talk so much about Mashiach, about the Rambam, not spend time on it. But now he's here. He's just not. We don't know where he is.
Where is he? Which country does Mashiach live in?
I don't know. He's around.
Serbia? Where is he from?
Serbia is not even a country.
Yes,
Serbia
it is.
Some sort of planet, I think.
What?
The Serbians.
It's Saturn.
Commanders of Serbians are starting an attack on our fleet.
What's the capital of
Our
Serbia?
star fleet. What?
What's the capital of Serbia?
Flamingo? I don't know.
Belgrade. All right. Of course, I know this stuff. All right. Yeah. So the Gemara says, Tanner about a Ma'aseh Elai, Shahalach Lachal Pnei Rebbe Lezer Rabba Balud. He went to visit his Rebbe Lezer in Lud. Beregel. Amar lo Eli Eincha Mishovsei HaRegel. So he said to his Talmud, Rabbi Eli, you're not one of the people that keep Yom Tov, keep the Regel, keep the Hilcha Halachas of Chol HaMoed. I praise people who are lazy, that don't leave their sukkahs during the regel, or don't leave their house during the regel. I need the shalosh regalim. I don't know what's going on here. People are dropping nails over here.
Maybe they're building a sukkah.
It's not sukkahs yet. You should make yourself happy and your family happy, your wife happy. Aini, is this true? Alright, why are you telling me you should be lazy? You're supposed to visit your Rebbe on the regel. How do you know this? This is Isha Shunamis, she said there, right? Isha Shunamis. The husband said to him, why are you going to visit Eliyahu? It's not Rosh Chodesh, it's not Shabbos. And of course the Yom Tov would be included also. Right, you see, even a woman has to go visit a rabbi. So we're talking about a woman. Does your wife go visit the rabbi or the rebbitzin?
Who?
Your wife.
Woman.
Your wife. Goes to visit the rabbis and the rebbitzin?
No. It's interesting. But it's still the Babish Rebbe, they asked him.
What they
why
asked
did it
him?
say Shabbos? It says what? They used to go on the Shabbos?
Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh.
Yeah, so why don't we go now with Shabbos? It could be then there could be the Rebbe used to speak on Shabbos Rosh Chodesh. That's what he said. Maybe that's why he used to go. And now they don't. They only speak, And then they spoke on Shalosh Regalim. That was the time when they gave it drasha. They gave the drasha. They learned halachos
I think the woman should go. I mean, the Gemara says, "Don't the woman. The woman's the one who went to visit Eliyahu."
That's right.
It's not a mitzvah on the man. It's a mitzvah on the woman. And they should take the kids with them because they make the husband watch the kids. It's not fair. It's too hard to watch kids. They're very hard to watch. Women know how to do it better than men. So the Gemara says, "Lokash hada azil v'asi biyome hada azil v'asi biyome." If you go for a part of the day and you come back, that's okay. You do a day trip. But if you go overnight, that's a problem.
Really?
Right? So you don't want your wife staying overnight somewhere else, because then who's going to wake up for the kids in the middle of the night? You wake up for your kids, or your wife wakes up?
What do you mean? Oh, when they wake up?
They wake up.
I don't think they wake up. I'm sleeping. I think they just sleep the whole night.
I think your wife wakes up. Someone wakes up. My kids wake up in the middle of the night. It's right. We've split. Actually, I do more than my wife. So.
Oh yeah, right.
I do. I mean, I don't know. I think I have the shift from like 12 o'clock to like 2:30 in the morning. That's my shift. And then afterwards, I think my wife does. All right. So where it says,
You're a good husband.
I'm the best. There's no one better. No better husband than me. My wife knows that also. There's no better husband. I'm serious.
Not even close, right?
Not. I mean, right? Yeah. I don't know how close it is, but I'm the best.
Okay.
See, I'm not a Balgaiva, you know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what a Balgaiva is? He just talks about himself, he's arrogant, but it's not true. If it's true, you're allowed to say the truth. Right? It's not a stira. Gaiva is when you're lying. Alright, he spent Shabbos, or Yom Tov, we'll see, in the upper Galilee, top of it, Eretz Shabbos. The city was Caesarea or Kisarion. And it was very, very hot outside. The Sukkah, the sun reached the top of the Succah. Can I put a sheet on top of the Succah in order for shade? Every shaven in Israel came a shofet, one of the shoftim, and say for shoftim came for them. He didn't answer him directly. So now the sun was already on top of the half of the sukkah. Can I put a sheet? The shiloh was Shabbos or Yom Tov, so the shiloh is being most of an oil ara. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to add an oil on Shabbos or Yom Tov. Every Shevet had Nevi'im, had prophets which came from them. Again, he didn't want to answer the question. Shevet Yehuda of Benjamin that didn't have Hamidu Malachim al Pi Nevi'im. They didn't have Nevi'im which came from them, but they had David which came from Yehuda, and Shaul came from Benjamin, and that was al Pi Shmuel Hanavi. The sun was all the way on top of the sukkah. It reached his feet. Not the Yochanan Sadin Upirius Aldel. He just took the action into his own hand. He realized Shmuel wasn't answering the question. He took a sheet and he hung it on top of the sukkah. If Shmuel got very angry and he took his frock and he put it, he twisted it around his legs or whatever. V'yatza, in disgust. He was angry. He went against the halacha. Why didn't he answer the question? He wasn't trying to not answer the question. He wasn't intentionally trying to do it. He just didn't want to answer because he never heard the halacha from his rabbi what to do in such a situation. Most of all, all right. So the Gemara says, how did he do this? How could Rabbi Lezer go to a different sukkah? He says you're not supposed to leave your sukkah. You have to be in sukkah for 7 days. Regal achar. It wasn't sukkah, it was a different regal. What was it? Either Shavuos or Pesach. He says, on all Yom Tovim, you have to stay in your house. Shabbos. The Gemara says it wasn't Yom, it was actually Shabbos. Why wasn't able to answer the question? He knew that he heard this. He himself said already this halacha somewhere else. It's not kakachol. Let's say you have a shutter to a window. You want to close the window with it. A board to put in the window. If it's tied and it's hanging down the floor, so then you can close it. If you don't have these conditions, you can't close it. Even if it's on the floor, you can close it with it. So you see, according to Lezer, you're not allowed to close it unless it's kosher v'tali, so you can't put a sheet over the sukkah. It's most of all right. And the Gemara says, "Hasamun uvatal." There it's more macher because you're putting it in the window and you're keeping it there. Well, haka the lam uvatal, you're going to take the sheet off right when the sun passes. So maybe there's makom they make it. That's why I didn't want to answer the question. Shmuel, good to have you back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
What are you planning on doing for this Succah?
Succah.
Yeah, you're planning on going to on one of those 5-star vacations.
Well, after
go to
this
Dubai or
now
something.
I was thinking about that, but now with Eliezer, he tells you have to stay in your sukkah and you have to be your own sukkah.
No, you go to Dubai. Stay there for 7 days. You want to go to Dubai?
Dubai.
Where is Dubai?
Dubai is in the Atlantic, off the Atlantic.
It's in the Atlantic Ocean.
Between the Atlantic and the Pacific, on the corner. I don't know where it is.
United Arab Emirates. You never heard of that? United Arab Emirates, UAE.
No. Doesn't sound like a
They
very
just made a
safe
peace
place for a
treaty.
Jew.
No, they just made a peace treaty.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, the Abraham Accords. Trump made a peace treaty with United Arab Emirates. Israel. There's normalization between Actually, there was a kidney transfer between a patient in United Arab Emirates and an Israeli person.
Really?
3-way transfer, including they flew the kidney all the way to United Arab Emirates. It's a 3-hour flight now. Now they can fly over Saudi Arabia, and they flew a kidney from United Arab Emirates to Israel, and they had 3
Really?
successful kidney transplants yesterday. So, yeah, it was a great time for peace. Amazing,
Beautiful,
right?
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Good day.